Good afternoon. This is the Board of County Commissioners meeting. It is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023. It is 2:02 p.m. I'm Carolina Mejia. I'm the chair of the board. To my right is Vice Chair Ty Menser. To my left is Commissioner Gregory Edwards. Also in the boardroom, we have County Manager Ramiro Chavez, as well as Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, Assistant County Manager Rob Gelder, and our Clerk of the Board, Jamie Caldwell. We'll start the meeting off with the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Vice Chair Menser.
Please join me in the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Vice Chair Menser, would you like to do a land acknowledgement, sir?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We would also like to start today's meeting with the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge and thank the Indigenous Salish peoples whose elders and ancestors have cared for the land and waterways of this county since time immemorial and who still inhabit the area today, specifically the Nisqually, Chehalis, and Squaxin Island people, our sovereign tribal partners. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. The purpose of this acknowledgement is to disrupt ongoing erasure of injustices done and to remember history as a stepping stone towards healing.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 agenda. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the proposed agenda for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menser?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. We'll move on with the opportunity for the public to address the board. The Board of Thurston County Commissioners welcomes comments from the public. However, there are such guidelines, some guidelines governing such comments to ensure they are appropriate and do not take advantage of the fact that most meetings are televised. The general speaking guidelines are as follows. Please introduce yourself, including the address you reside in the county. Please address the board, not the audience or staff. Please silence your cell phones for those members in the boardroom. Speakers are limited to a total of 4 minutes to address the board. Meeting attendees cannot donate their speaking time to another person. No comments that are lewd and offensive, inflammatory, hateful, defamatory, or discriminatory in nature. Please be respectful. No outburst of any kind. No comments that are commercial in nature, such as promotion of a for-profit business. All materials provided to the county may be considered public records, subject to public release upon request pursuant to the Public Records Act, Chapter 4256 of the RCW. And no remarks about pending land use permits or similar matters that could eventually come before the Board on Appeal. Thank you so much for your cooperation. We'll start off with people who have signed up, and then I will call people in the boardroom, and then we will move on to Zoom. First person I have is Terry Ballard.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name's Terry Ballard, and I have 2 residences in Tanglewild, unincorporated Thurston County. Maybe public record. I think they are public record as far as that's concerned. And as far as meetings are concerned with, if we take off a Tuesday meeting for some ungodly reason, we're supposed to be having a meeting the very next following working day. That's not happening here in Thurston County. That's against the public, that's against the Open Public Meetings Act. I'm here to talk about Tanglewild. I'm concerned with Tanglewild. I live in Tanglewild. Lydia Hawk School is in Tanglewild. And I'm concerned about the third way to Lydia Hawk. I've got everybody telling me how not to do it, and I need to know somebody that knows how to do it. The problem is School Street. School Street is the access for Lydia Hawk school children, and on a daily basis. There's parking on both sides, and if you would put even a bike lane, I don't care if it's for walking or whatever, on one side like you did over here to get rid of the homeless, that'd be great. You know, at least it's something towards school safety. Also those those circles in Tangawild, are they code? Don't we have a CPED over here that's supposed to be code? They're not code. We need to get rid of those. They are a hindrance. As far as the ethics concerns, I gave you resolution 15933. In 15933, signed by everybody except Commissioner Mejia, it goes into ethics. It goes into code of ethics. It goes to the reasoning why you can't go below without the vote of the 3 to get information to validate any information for the manager. Well, as far as the code of ethics is concerned with, I've sat here in this council and I was lied about, okay? Lied about being the excuse me, the Veterans Fund, the Mental Health Fund, and the Road Fund being used to justify this building, which should be coming out of general funds. Now we don't have any REIT 1 funds, okay? And then now you're missing information to report to the public to actually make a viable solution with a vote for the people. And you're missing that because somebody denies you access to do that. Excuse me, there's a couple ethics problems with that. And also statements of one that does not know to be true, false reporting, and public official making false certificate. Those are all chargeable with gross misdemeanors. Why aren't you upholding the law here? Okay, you need to uphold the law. If a public official like the manager, assistant manager, finance person, anybody in your staff lies to you should be getting rid of them. Mr. Pettit took Mr. Menzer to court, wanted to recall Mr. Menzer. And you know what Mr. Menzer's solution to the challenge was? That of not providing not being responsible for your staff? Oh, they lied to me. They didn't tell me the truth. That's why I voted that way. Well, aren't you responsible for the conduct of your employees? They're not my employees, they're your employees. They work for you. And of course, you have my proxy vote. So I suggest that you read Resolution 15933 and the RCWs that I've given you, okay? For one that practice law, one that process law, and one that uphold law, and now you're all upholding law. I think you're doing a poor job of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the boardroom that would like to provide public testimony at this time? Okay,
Mr. Thornbridge? No,
okay, we'll go on to Zoom. Is
we
there-
don't have anybody in Zoom, Madam Chair.
Okay,
So, we'll conclude public testimony.
so with that, we'll conclude public testimony and we'll move to county manager's update.
Yeah, I just have one very significant update for you commissioners. And let me read this letter the Darren Bennett Financial Services Managers received from the Government Finance Officers Association, also known as a GFOA. That's gonna just read the first paragraph, I think is very telling. And we're pleased to notify you that your annual comprehensive financial report for the fiscal year ended on December 31st, 2021 has met the requirements to be awarded GFOA Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. The GFOA established the Certificate of Achievement of Excellence Financial Reporting Program in 1945 to encourage and assist the state and local governments to go beyond the minimum requirements of generally accepted accounting principles to prepare annual comprehensive financial reports that evidence the spirit of transparency and full disclosure, and then to recognize individual governments to succeed in achieving this goal. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in government accounting and financial reporting. So I'd just like to say congratulations to Mary Hall, the county auditor, financial services, and really congratulations to the whole county for achieving this certificate. Mary, you'd like to comment?
Thank you. Auditor Hall has joined us. I'm wondering if she would like to say a couple of words.
Thank you very much for that recognition. You know, I think it's important to point out that there's a lot of effort and a lot of people involved in creating this report. It's not just the financial services staff, but it's the budget staff and really all the financial folks in the county. And our financial report goes through rigorous testing and validation to receive this award. I mean, there's a checklist that I don't know has how many things on it, but this is our 16th in a row, and I think the county should be very proud of the reporting and the transparency that we have, despite what our critics say. So I just want to say congratulations again, Darren, and your staff did an outstanding job, and they're always published online, so anybody can go and view all aspects of that report. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything? Oh, okay. Any questions or comments from the commissioner? Commissioner Edwards?
You know, I think the only thing I'll say at this point, congratulations and keep up the good work and everything. And Mary, having been a separately elected official as you are, in years gone by, it certainly does take a good team to make everything work. So thank you very much. I'm glad Darren didn't go anywhere here a while back. I've told him that before.
Thank you. Commissioner Edwards? Oh, Menser?
Well, obviously, congratulations, but mainly thank you, because as you know, Mr. Ballard ticked through our professional backgrounds of the board. None of us were accountants, none of us were mathematicians or anything to do with numbers. We dealt with the law and justice system, and so it gives us, I know, all three of us, a great sense of confidence when we, at the highest level of scrutiny, receive that kind of recognition, because it gives us confidence in what you produce to us and what you do for the county. So, and as you point out, Auditor Hall, that's the area where we probably get the most scrutiny on a week in, week out basis. And rightfully so. We're stewards of the taxpayer dollars, but we need your help because we don't have that background. So thank you for putting us in that position of confidence and confidence of the public.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you and congratulations. I mean, I echo what both my seatmates said, and thank you for coming here today. Okay.
Maybe a picture with the county auditor?
Yeah.
Commissioners?
Oh, sure, okay.
I think the staff better get in that.
Yeah, of course, Diana, Darren.
You want to get in the back?
And you're so short.
I'm so short. Do you have to stand next to Darren?
Okay.
At least right next.
That sounds great.
At least
Come
there
over
be
here,
some.
Commissioner.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Raise your hands.
Okay. We'll move on to our consent agenda. There's only one item on there. Are there any questions or concerns about the item on the consent agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm ready for a motion if,
I move to approve the resolution or no, I don't need to do that. I just say, I move to approve consent item 3A.
Second.
been moved and seconded. This is a non-debatable motion, so I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay, our consent agenda is approved and we'll move on to department items, starting with item 4A from the auditor's office is approval of the voucher list.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For your consideration, Commissioners, is to approve the voucher list for the week of April 24, 2023, for a combined amount of $2,811,784.92. This is for your consideration as a department item. because we continue to have some expenditures related to the tenant improvements here at the atrium.
Thank you. Any questions?
No
Commissioner?
questions at this time, thank you.
Okay. Hearing no questions, is there a motion?
I move to approve the voucher list for the week of April 24, 2023 for a combined amount of $2,811,784.92.
I'll second the motion. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards,
Nay.
Commissioner Menzer,
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia,
Aye. Item 5A from Community Planning and Economic Development is set a public hearing for the Clements Open Space Tax Program application. And Marissa?
Good afternoon, commissioners and county managers. My name is Marissa Wisman with Community Planning, and I'm currently processing the Clements Open Space application. This is an application for the county's open space tax program that the board oversees. The applicants, Clark and Joan Clements, seek to enroll 4 acres into the program as farm and agricultural conservation land. The Planning Commission has recommended approval of the application, and the board was briefed on this item on April 27th. The Clements property appears to meet the criteria for enrollment under the proposed resource category, as the property was formerly enrolled in the assessor's farm and agricultural land classification but no longer qualifies. The property is being maintained as pasture for future agricultural use, and a farm conservation plan was submitted with the application materials. This concludes my discussion, commissioners. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, but I would point out to the viewing public that we had quite a discussion on this topic this morning at agenda setting. If you would like to see more information on this topic. Thank you.
Absolutely, Commissioner Edwards. I have reached out to the assessor's and treasurer's office, and we should have a response in time for the public hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No question.
I'm ready for a motion. Go on, sir.
I move to set a public hearing for June 13th at 3:30 PM or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at 3000 Pacific Avenue Southeast, room 110, to accept public comment on the 2023 Clements Open Space application.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards,
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer, Commissioner Mejia,
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to information technology, item 6A, approve renewal of Microsoft Enterprise Agreement. Hi, Sherry.
Hello, good afternoon. Sherry Ilg, IT Director. I am seeking authorization to renew our 3-year Microsoft maintenance agreement in the amount of $550,488.51 plus tax per year for the next 3 years, and any amendment that does not exceed 10%. We use Microsoft throughout the county, as you know, to support the work that we do. This includes Windows, Word, Excel, Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, SQL Server, et cetera, et cetera. This amount has been budgeted for 2023 and is already in our IT rates. Can I answer any questions?
Any questions for Sherry? Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you. Again, no, I believe we had discussion on this earlier.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No questions.
Is there a motion on this matter?
I move to approve the 3-year Microsoft Enterprise Agreement for $550,488.51 plus tax, and any amendments that do not exceed 10% per year for each of the 3 years, and authorize the Information Technology Director to sign the agreement.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards,
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer, Commissioner Mejia,
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Moving on to Public Health and Social Services, item 7A, set a public hearing for the 2023 through 2027 HUD Consolidated Plan and the program year 2023 HUD Annual Action Plan. And Tom Webster is here. Go ahead, Tom.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tom Webster, Program Manager for the Office of Housing and Homeless Prevention. So we're here to ask you to set a public hearing for June 20th, 2023 at 3:30 to take comment on our 5-year HUD annual consolidated plan, as well as our 2023 annual action plan. This is a required document for the federal funds we receive from HUD. We receive the Home Investment Partnership funds, as well as Community Development Block Grant funds. So the 5-year plan sets the high-level priorities for our community over the next 5 years, and the action plan identifies the specific activities that we intend to fund with those resources. So we require a 30-day public comment period. So we will post the draft plan on May 19th for public comment, and then after the public hearing, we'll ask you to approve that plan, and we will submit that as required to be submitted to HUD by July 15th. And this year for CDBG funds, those are allocated to the City of Lacey. So City of Lacey City Council will be making recommendations this week at their City Council meeting that we'll be bringing forward and including in that plan. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
Okay, is there a motion for this matter?
I move to set a public hearing for Tuesday, June 20th, 2023 at 3:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be heard at 3000 Pacific Avenue Southeast, Room 110, to receive public comments on the 2023 to 2027 HUD Consolidated Plan, which includes Program Year 2023 U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Annual Action Plan.
Second?
So moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Moving on to Public Works, item 8A, resolution adopting role of assessment for Patterson Lake Management District, PLMD, number 23. Tim Wilson will report this item.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Tim Wilson, Water Resources Manager with Public Works. Staff is here today requesting the board consider adoption of a resolution confirming and approving the role of assessment for Thurston County Lake Management District number 23 for Patterson Lake. To provide some background, Thurston County Lake Management District number 23 for Patterson Lake was created by ordinance number 16219 on November 22nd, 2022. A role of assessment for the new district has been prepared, which lists rates and charges for each parcel within the district boundaries. Rates used to calculate these charges were initially submitted to the Board of County Commissioners by petition from property owners and were the subject of a public hearing held July 26, 2022. Following the public hearing, the rates and charges were adopted by a resolution of findings and determinations number 16187. The proposed rates were also stated on ballot materials sent to property owners, along with the proposed charges to be placed on their parcels. RCW 3661-120 directed the county legislative authority to next hold a public hearing to consider objections to that rule. The public hearing is by statute limited to considering written objections to charges improperly or incorrectly assigned to individual parcels only. Objections to the district's establishment, purpose, or rate structure was not considered in this public hearing, as they had already been adopted by resolution, affirmed by ballot, and codified by ordinance. A public hearing to consider objections to the rule was held on January 10th, 2023. Notice of the public hearing was published in the newspaper of record and mailed to property owners along with their parcel numbers and charges. Instructions for preparing objections was included with the mailed notice. All objections to the rule needed to include clear grounds for the objection and be provided to the board prior to the hearing. The mailed notice for the hearing required objections to be submitted by Thursday, January 5, thus allowing time to investigate the objections, develop any necessary staff reports or maps, and schedule sufficient time during the hearing for their consideration. Property owners needed not be present at the hearing to have their submitted objections considered by the board. After submitted objections and statements have been considered, the board may 1, approve the role as presented, 2, modify charges found to be inaccurate or improperly assigned, and approve the amended role, Or three, set the role aside and direct staff to prepare a new role. However, if the role is modified to increase charges or include an omitted property, a new public hearing must be held addressing those specific parcels only. None of the timely objections to the proposed final role established a basis justifying amending the property's assessment, and therefore staff is requesting the board consider adopting the resolution. And with that background, I would happily answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Tim. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
Yes, when the community took a vote on this particular topic, was that a majority vote, roughly 55 to 45% to move ahead?
Yes, it was 144 valid ballots voted yes, 113 valid ballots voted no. So that's a 56 to 44 margin based on ballots. Those ballots are weighted so that each dollar of assessed charge is one vote. So the weighted vote was 71,334 to 26,067.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
Tim, I had a question in regards to something you just said about to increase the role of assessment or to include a property, another public hearing would have to be held. And I'm wondering, would it also have to go to another vote, or how would it work?
Yes, you would have to back up the process if well, let me think about this for a minute. So if it is just the role to increase charges, it would go back to the vote process. It would go back to the like 3 steps back, Commissioner, and you would have to go through that public process again.
Thank you. Has that ever happened?
Not in my tenure and not in my knowledge of LMDs at the county. Not saying it hasn't, but I'm not aware of it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, any additional questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, is there a motion for this matter?
I move to adopt a resolution confirming and approving the role of assessment for Thurston County Lake Management District number 23 for Patterson Lake.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you, Tim. Moving on to item 8B, resolution and call for sealed bids for 2023 overlay project CP number 98223. And we have Steve Bricker.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Yeah, Steve Bricker, the Construction Manager at the Public Works Department. I'm here today to ask for your approval for the call for sealed bids and resolution for this summer's 2023 overlay project, capital project number 98223. The roads that we're looking at overlaying this summer are Martin Way, Carpenter Road, Deutero Road, Meridian Road, 93rd Avenue, and Vale Road as well. The estimated cost is $3.5 million. 1 million of that will be from the REAP fund. The other $2.5 million will come from the county road fund. And the overlay is expected to extend the life of these roadways for 15 years. This contract will be advertised in the Olympian and the Seattle Daily Journal of Commerce and posted on the Builders Exchange website as well. This project is also in the current 2023 Public Works budget, the 23 to 2028 Transportation Improvement Program and the Capital Improvement Program, and it's also in alignment with the county's strategic plan, Initiative 8.
Thank
Is there
you.
any questions you guys have?
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions, thank you.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? Okay, no questions for me as well. I'm ready for a motion.
Move to approve the resolution and call for sealed bids for the 2023 overlay project, CP number 98223.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 8C, award of master contracts for furnishing a supply of various asphalt materials. And Mike Lohman, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, County Manager, Assistant County Managers. I'm here today to ask you to award 4 master contracts to Tucci & Sons Incorporated of Tacoma, Granite Construction of Everett, Miles Resources of Puyallup, and Lakeside Industries of Olympia for furnishing a supply of various kinds of asphalt materials to the Public Works Department for annual road maintenance activities and to authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the contracts. For background, Thurston County Public Works Road Operations Division requires different asphalt materials to perform road maintenance activities on an annual basis. The actual amount of material fluctuates during the year. Therefore, the quantities and overall cost for the year are unknown. The purpose for awarding master contracts is to secure the best unit price for each material at time of purchase. On April 20th, 2023, 4 bids were received for furnishing a supply of various kinds of asphalt materials for road maintenance in response to the call for sealed bids advertised in the Olympian and Daily Journal of Commerce on April 6, 2023 and April 13th, and posted on the Builders Exchange of Washington website. The bids are in the form of unit prices by location of the vendor's plant. All bidders submitted reasonable unit rates to be considered in the evaluation for individual purchase orders. Public Works is requesting to award master contracts to all 4 vendors: Tucci & Sons of Tacoma, Granite Construction of Everett, Miles Resources LLC of Puyallup, and Lakeside Industries of Olympia. The master contracts will be for $0, but incorporate each vendor's pricing schedule as the basis for evaluating costs and placing individual orders against master contracts on an as-needed basis. Purchase orders will be issued to the vendor with available supply and at the lowest price after evaluating the cost for materials and travel from the work area to the pickup point. Funds will be obligated at the time of purchase, at the time the purchase order is issued and paid from the road fund budget. This maintenance work supports Initiative 8 of the county strategic plan to support robust and well-maintained infrastructure systems for a thriving community. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Any questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No, I guess I'm satisfied if issue 8 is covered.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
Okay. No questions for me. Is there a motion?
Move to award 4 master contracts to Tucci & Sons Inc. of Tacoma, Washington, Granite Construction of Everett, Washington, Miles Resources LLC of Puyallup, Washington, and Lakeside Industries of Olympia, Washington for furnishing a supply of various kinds of asphalt materials to the Public Works Department for annual road maintenance activities and to authorize the Director of Public Works to execute the contracts.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 8D, resolution and call for sealed bids for steel bridge fabrication for Thompson Creek Road Southeast at Thompson Creek Fish Passage Project, CP number 63025, and Cooper Road Southwest at Mox Chehalis Creek Culvert Replacement Project, CP number 61554. And
Good afternoon. Oh,
go ahead, Marcus, sorry.
my apologies. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Marcus Storvik, Senior Civil Engineer with Public Works. Public Works is requesting permission to call for sealed bids to fabricate and supply 2 steel bridges for the following locations: Thompson Creek Road Southeast at Thompson Creek This will replace a 8-foot culvert with a new 70-foot long bridge. The other location is Cooper Road Southwest at Mock-Chehalis Creek. This new bridge will replace one temporary bridge spanning 40 feet. The temporary bridge was installed last year after the existing culverts had washed out during the January 2022 storm event. We previously went out to bid for the Thompson Creek Bridge earlier this year, but did not receive any responsive bids due to the short delivery date given. To enhance the bidding opportunity, the delivery date was extended to 12 months to accommodate the longer lead times the industry is experiencing. With the new delivery date, staff combined the two bridge purchases for efficiency. This action will allow Public Works to contract for the manufacture and delivery of these bridges ahead of the construction contracts for their installations, saving 1 year of lead time. The estimated cost to manufacture and deliver the Thompson Creek Road Bridge is approximately $280,000 and $200,000 for the Cooper Road Bridge. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No, ma'am.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer?
No.
No questions for me. Is there a motion?
Yes. I move to approve the resolution and call for sealed bids.
Second.
And authorize the interim county engineer to set the bid date and time for receipt and opening of said bids for the fabrication and supply of 2 steel bridges for the Thompson Creek Road southeast of Thompson Creek Fish Passage Project CP 63025 and Cooper Road southwest at Mock-Chehalis Creek Culvert Replacement Project CP 61554.
I'll still second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
No, ma'am.
I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer? Commissioner Mejia?
Aye. Moving on to items 9. 9A is Commissioners will report on board work sessions and assigned committee meetings, providing updates on actions taken, as well as upcoming issues. Commissioner Edwards, we will start with you, sir.
Constituent interaction with quite a few land use issues. And then I had an opportunity to attend our JBLM meeting with the county manager. And we heard from Congresswoman Strickland, and I think she's gonna help us on some projects, and I think I could leave it that broad. And then one of the things coming up at McCord Field is a JBLM air show and Warrior Expo. And for any of you that might be interested in this, it's July 15th and 16th, free entry. The gates open at 9, and I think it's over at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And anybody wanting to check this out and maybe figure out how to get up there, it's a great show. I've seen it before. The website would be jblmairshow.com. That'll be my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Menzer?
Yes, I had a couple of weeks worth because last week I was on duty for Puget Sound Restoration in Washington DC, which was an interesting experience and a lot of good support from our Washington legislators on the programs that we were advocating for, federal programs. In and around that, I attended a event for the Dispute Resolution Center, an awards ceremony from homeless housing heroes that Homes First sponsors, attended Prairie Appreciation Day at the Glacier Heritage Park on Saturday, attended the grand opening of the new expanded library facility at the Capitol Mall. Friday was Sentencing Guideline Commission, which I'm still waiting for my final appointment from Governor Inslee, but I've been attending meetings because I was appointed by WASAC and to represent counties, and we've been given a humongous new project by the legislature to basically re-rank all of the criminal offenses on the sentencing grid by December. So our meeting on Friday was basically a brainstorming session on how we're conceivably going to accomplish something like that in such a short time frame. So we're going to break into subcommittees, probably by Class A, Class B, and Class C offenses. And I'm not sure which one I'll get assigned to, but that'll be some more work on that piece. Jail resource team meeting with constituents about the shoreline plan, meeting with some folks from the Thurston County Bar Association, meeting with our county clerk about some of the needs, some of the special facilities that she has related to evidence and how we can incorporate that into our remodeling over at the courthouse campus. And that was about it for the last 2 weeks.
Thank you. Okay, I will report. Yesterday I had a meeting with Grace Harbor Public Health as well as some members from Olympia School District. Olympia School District is interested in starting to host health clinic for students. Grace Harbor has already started doing that in their school districts, specifically Ocean Shores. And so had a conversation with them on what that looked like at Grace Harbor, what services they provided, how they're funding it. And so we're really looking for the next steps that the Olympia School District, I know they're gonna have more discussions on what they would look like. They said that one of the main challenges they have, how Grace Harbor was able to do it was through a grant. And they've been able to get that grant every year since they've started doing it. So I know Olympia School District is, one of the main things that Grace Harbor said was that they had issues with was spacing concerns to be able to hold these health clinics. And so they're going to start seeing if that's something that they could do. Was really just interested in the model that Grace Harbor has and the services that they're able to provide for students. I attended the WASAC virtual meeting, which spoke about housing, and Department of Commerce was there, as well as Lieutenant Governor Denny Hack, and spoke about housing and just a lot of the legislature that was passed this year. I attended the Community Outdoor Athletic Facility meeting and that's one of the appointments that I got from the Washington State Association of Counties. The legislator ended up using a lot of the funds for different projects. So there's only around $23 million left. And so from there, we're still deciding the guidelines of how that money is going to go out. It's been split by regions, but what kind of outdoor athletic facilities are going to be considered was the point of conversation yesterday. I attended the economic development event that they had yesterday at the new steakhouse by Views on Fifth. And so that was just very interesting event. I attended Prairie Day on Saturday. And then I also attended the Centennial Station 30th anniversary. And great train station, learned a lot about it and learned that it's one of the few ones that is completely run by volunteers. They have a partnership with like Intercity Transit where they maintain the station and clean it. And but a lot of how that location was built was purely through volunteers. And it was just really incredible to just see the history and the location of that and how it's still working. And one of the cool facts that I learned is that at other stations, once, they work certain hours, but this specific train station, they do not stop working until the last train goes out. So there's always someone there. And so that was pretty incredible. And so thank you to all the volunteers who really put your time in for that, because it's just such a great asset. I attended the Washington State Association for Counties, the Board of Directors meeting starting on Wednesday in Moses Lake, and that ended on Friday. I have quite a few things to report. I'm not sure whenever you're having our next commissioners check-in for that, just because I have quite a couple of things to report on that we worked on. But one of the major things, and probably, I'm not sure if you've seen the email that came out that Eric Johnson is going to be retiring, and that's the executive director right now. He's going to be retiring next year in May. So there's going to be a search for who's going to be taking up that role. And I attended the Transportation Policy Board meeting, ORCA, and then I gave a little bit of an update of the Regional Housing Council meeting. So this morning, so that's all. So next on our agenda is the county manager will review the Board of County Commissioners schedule for the week of May 16th, 2023.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me walk you through your combined schedule, where at least 2 commissioners will be present. You may have individual appointments on your individual calendars. Those will not be part of my report. Beginning Tuesday, May 16th this afternoon at 5 in the afternoon, you have a public hearing related to the Development Code docket item A6, and that is the Shoreline Master Program element. Wednesday, May 17, tomorrow, 9 in the morning, you have a briefing related to the Olympia Joint Plan. 9:30 tomorrow, May 17, you have a briefing related to the Ground Mount Sub-Area Plan. At 11:30 tomorrow, you have anybody to participate in the Thurston Chamber of Commerce meeting. That will be held at the Olympia Hotel located at Capitol Lake, 2300 Evergreen Park Drive, southwest Olympia. And at 2 in the afternoon, tomorrow, May 17th, you have your regular meeting with your appointed directors. Thursday, May 18, 9 in the morning, you have a briefing related to the Thurston County Mobility Strategy Study. At 10 in the morning, you have your commissioners check-in. 1 in the afternoon, May 18, I believe Commissioner Menzer, Commissioner Edwards will be attending Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Administrative Organization. I butchered just the name. And that's the governing body that will be located in the Woodview Conference Room in their offices. At 3 in the afternoon, here in this room, you have a briefing related to the American Rescue Plan expenditure update. Friday, May 19th, you have been invited to participate at 8 in the morning to the South Thurston Economic Development Initiative. That is a study, and that is going to be located at Rainier Senior Center on 108 Michigan Street South, right near Washington. And a special meeting notice has already been posted. Friday, May 19th at 1 in the afternoon, you have anybody to participate on a new employees meet and greet. That is going to be located in room 208 here at the campus, at the atrium. Saturday, May 20th at 11 in the morning, you have anybody to participate on the Heritage Month for the Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Organization, also known as AANHPI. And that is going to be located at the Olympia Center. Next week, Monday, May 22nd, we have a joint meeting with the Squaxin Island Tribe Council. And that is going to be located here in this room, beginning at 11:30 in the morning. And the county will be hosting by providing lunch. 2 in the afternoon on May 22nd, you have a follow-up executive session related to the wireless code update. Tuesday, May 23rd, 9:15 in the morning, you will convene in this room to go through your agenda setting. Followed by 2 in the afternoon, your regular Board of County Commissioners meeting. And then you have 3 public hearings. One related to the code clarifications and corrections amendment, followed by the public hearing to amend the 6-year capital improvement program, and also a public hearing related to a resolution to amend the 6-year transportation improvement program. That's all I have for you. Any questions?
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Edwards?
No questions.
Questions, Commissioner Menzer? Okay, with that, we will adjourn the meeting. And for anyone interested, we are having a public hearing at 5 p.m. for the Shoreline Program Update Public Hearing. And so hope you can join us at 5 p.m. Thank you. We are adjourned.